What is up, boyos? Welcome to Last Week in Games, where everything is video games. My name is Jake. That is Nick.
Hello.
What's up, Nick? How you doing?
How's it going? I'm doing all right.
Oh, that's good.
You know?
It's fantastic to hear, man.
Yeah.
I was just having a heart attack trying to figure out the stream, but we're here live.
We're here. We're doing it.
On
If
Twitch,
something goes wrong, blame Jake.
twitch.tv/lonercast. We're here live every Monday. That is the Lonercast guarantee.
is it?
It's the Lonercast guarantee. Most of the
Okay.
time. I mean, we're pretty fucking consistent, right? I mean,
We are consistent, yes.
we're more
Yeah.
consistent than some of the big dogs out there.
That is true.
Like, damn, you know?
That's very true.
We've taken
If you want
a couple off, but like,
if you want consistent mediocre content, you come right here.
hey,
So.
our analysis is top tier. And as more people keep getting canceled on the internet, we can, more opportunities for us.
Yeah, maybe. Hell yeah, dude. Cancel them all.
There's something
baby.
about-
We'd probably get canceled in like 2 seconds.
There's something about content creators that like they just can't keep their fucking hands off of people, you know. I'm not gonna name any names here, but Andrew Callahan. What's going on?
So I won't name something, but I was just watching a YouTube video of a man who started off in YouTube and has moved into movies. And the impression that I get from him now is more like since he's been an actual actor and been in some things that you may have heard of. The impression that I get from him now is that he will be one of those people that eventually will end up getting canceled.
Who is it?
I'm not going to say.
You can say. It's all right.
I can't
Okay,
say. I'm
okay.
not going to say.
Don't say.
I'm not going to say. Because I was just watching this and I'm like, holy fuck. Yeah, this guy's just fucking an asshole. He just seems like an asshole. And I could see him doing some real shady shit. And I'll tell you off the air. But.
Okay. There's a few people that like I watch, be it like content creator. I don't watch them, but that you see around, like be it content creators or like musicians or actors or whoever, or you just see them and you're like, I just know in like 10 years there's some shit gonna come out about this guy.
Oh yeah.
Like you could tell. You could tell.
Like,
There's this one guy named Nick. He's on this podcast called Last Week in Games.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was just saying
trouble,
that.
man.
If we ever get anywhere, we'll get canceled for sure.
Like, what would we get canceled for though? Like,
I don't know.
I've never.
I don't know.
done anything.
Okay, maybe not you, but I've said some crazy shit.
Well, we've said crazy. We might, yeah. We're different people than we were when we were younger, for sure. But like, that's a different kind of cancellation, I think.
Is it?
I think
I don't know, man.
I think
I don't know. There are people who get canceled for shit that they said in high school and tweeted out in high school or whatever.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't put me past us that like, my idiot younger self would have gotten me canceled anyway, just eventually.
Yeah, I don't know. There are people that overcome that shit though. Like Dan Harmon famously like was pretty shitty, and he just like came out and was like, "Yeah, I was shitty. That's my bad." And the dude's still out there doing the thing. So,
well, I mean, I guess some people can do it. I can't name one.
I think you could overcome like a quote unquote cancellation, like that, where it's like you said some bad shit in your past. Just by being upfront and being like, yeah, I was wrong about that. And if you're upfront, there will be if you have an audience, which we currently don't. But if we
don't.
If we had an audience and people saw that, there will be a group of those people that be like, oh yeah, if you're genuine about it. That's
true. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
I guess like
he's still out there doing the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're just like, I was shitty, but that was a while ago, and it's happened since then, and I've learned a lot. And
like if it's like you said like, I don't know, the R slur or something, I think you can overcome that. It's not like the end.
Yeah, that's true. Especially for us, because we were around the time where it was spread the word to end the word. Like that was huge when we were.
Well, and like
like that was the
homophobic language when we were in high school. That was just like normal,
oh yeah,
you
that is
know,
true.
like things I would never say now. Like people were just saying it like like passively. Like even on South Park, they were saying that shit. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it was just the culture.
yeah.
But
So
like that can't really be excused, right? People aren't excusing that anymore, I guess.
yeah, I mean, if you say it now, I think people would be like, "What are you doing, man? You probably
Yeah.
shouldn't do that." But like, I don't know. I'm talking more.
I guess
I'm
yeah.
talking
I
more
guess
about
that's
people
true.
like like Andrew Callahan, where it came out like this man like forced people to have sex with him and shit. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's like a different kind of thing.
Which is why I'm saying that we would get canceled.
But we've only forced sex on each other.
On each other? Oh, it's different then.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
All
true.
right. Okay. All
Anyway,
right.
that was a fun little tangent we had there.
Yeah. Freaking I don't
Everything
know
is
why
video games. This is video games.
I don't know why we brought up cancel culture.
I think I brought it up for some reason. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay, I don't remember.
I think it
But
was just there's a spot for us out there if people keep getting canceled. Yeah,
hmm.
that's it. Um. Anyway, let's talk
Anyways,
about some titties, huh? We got some tidbits of news here that I think are kind of neat.
okay.
Um, First of all, Horizon Forbidden West is coming to PS Plus Extra, and the reason I put this on here, Nick, because normally I don't mention games coming to PS Plus Extra, because that would just
Mhm.
be tedious and annoying. But the reason I mentioned this one,
It's
okay?
because there's no news to this week.
No, I would have brought this up anyway
Oh,
because
okay.
I think this is
Okay.
actually fascinating.
All right.
Horizon Forbidden West, because I feel like there's a dialogue to be had here. For Horizon Forbidden West came out last year. Like it's only
Right.
been a year. Like it came out in
Right.
February of last
Mhm.
year, and now it's
Right.
coming to PS Plus Extra. So I guess what I'm bringing up here is, do you think this will be the Sony pattern from now on? Will they drop a game and then a year later put it on that PS Plus Extra? So unlike Game Pass, where day and date, it's like a year
Yeah.
exclusivity.
I could see that. I could see that. I think that's not a bad idea because the Plus Extra or whatever is Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, that's like their Game
Right.
Pass. Yeah,
Yeah. So and you're paying for that anyway. So I don't see why not. It just goes to the point where if you want to play the game but you don't want to pay for it, I guess, or give it a year, see what people think. See, I can't comment too much on this because I'm not one of those people that like plays a game a year after it's come out just because I want to save money. If I want to play that game, I'm buying the game.
yeah.
I might wait a month or a few weeks.
We
Uh,
are anomalies though. I think.
I know, but that it just makes it. I feel like I don't have a whole lot that I can speak on that as far as the other coin, where people buy games to save money and they'll wait, and however long. Like if something comes out on PlayStation 4, like Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and or PlayStation 5, whatever, and I don't want to wait for um or to come to PC, I'm gonna fucking buy it on PlayStation and play it there.
Yeah.
That's just how it's gonna be.
Well, I think that's their thought process too, right? Because they're like, we know there are people like Nick and Jake who are buying this shit day
Hmm.
one, but then there
Oh
are a
yeah,
group of people that are like, well, I'll fucking wait for PS Plus Extra and be a member of that. And I kind of fit into both categories, where it's like, God of War, I'm buying day one.
right.
Uh, Horizon, I even bought day one. But there are games like Days Gone, where it's like I'm not buying that day one. But if that came out a year later on Game Pass or on PS Plus Extra,
Yeah,
maybe I would have dabbled in it. You
that's
know?
true. If you've got time,
Yeah,
if you have that moment like a couple months ago where there was nothing to play, I was like, okay, well, I have Game Plus Extra or whatever. Might as well play a game that got good reviews last year. So
yeah. And we've always talked about the Sony double dip, the
oh
the
yes,
old Sony
double
double dip,
double dip, triple
and
dip,
and
whatever
to
you want.
me,
Yeah,
this plays into the Sony double dip, where it's like you
sure
get
does.
that initial thing, but then you also get the money from PS Plus Extra, and you get people into your ecosystem that way.
Yeah, it sure does.
And then it comes out on PC like 2 years later, and then you get
At full price. Yeah.
that triple dip, you know.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, it's they're what Sony is doing is very smart.
Yeah, I
It's
think
very smart.
the real tell is in a few months will God of War, and by a few months I mean like most of the year still.
Most of the year, yeah.
Like in November, are they going to put God of War
I
on
can see it.
PS Plus
Yep.
Extra? That's going
I
to be
can
the
see
real
it.
tell.
I can see it.
I could see it too. But I think God of War did a lot better than Horizon Forbidden West. So maybe it was one of those things too, where it's like Horizon didn't do as well as they wanted.
It could be they could be looking at sales,
Yeah.
like, oh well, it's really dropped off this month, so
yeah, like no one's buying it anymore, so we might as well. Yeah.
Might as well just release it. Like if a game's it's the same principle as movie theaters. Like we'll keep this in the movie theaters for as long as possible. But once people stop going to see movies and it makes no sense to, have that movie still in there, just release it on DVD and make some more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably more the thing, because it's like instead of putting it on sale, let's just get people into our Game Pass ecosystem sort of thing. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna release the VR thing that just came out? The Horizon
on Game Pass?
Yeah, on Game Pass. You think VR games will be on Game Pass?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Just I don't know. Just the thing that I was thinking about.
Yeah. That seems like a good idea.
I mean, maybe. I feel like they could sell a lot more VRs if they just released all those games for Game Pass.
Yeah, because it's like you have this whole
Plus
library of games. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, if you don't have to, you don't have to buy the games individually. It's like you spend $15 or whatever it is, and
it's also harder to justify buying some of those VR games because they are like shorter. Experiences.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what they are, right? They're experiences. Whereas, like, I guess a full game is also an experience, but it's different. You can sit down for 40 hours or whatnot and play the game. Whereas VR is usually like, oh yeah, this is a good 45-minute thing.
Yeah.
That's all the time that you really want to put into this.
I agree. Yeah, I think we'll see. I don't even know if Sony's gonna keep supporting the old VR. We'll see.
Yeah, that's true. That is also true. That's also true.
Speaking of supporting things, my friend. There is a Tetris movie in the works.
I saw the trailer.
And it comes out next month, the end of next month. And well, let me since you saw the trailer, what'd you think?
It's fine. It looks fine. They're doing something very different. Like, I saw the Tetris thing. I'm like, is this just gonna be fucking like cartoon Tetronimos or Tetronimos?
It's gonna be the emoji movie, yeah.
Like the emoji movie, exactly. And I'm like, that's gonna be dumb. Yeah. And then I see this, and it's more of like what would you call it? Like a Silicon Valley sort of thing, but like a drama. And I don't know if I like the drama part about it, because I'm not a huge drama guy. I don't really care for dramas, I guess. But it looks fine. I probably won't see it, but I have a feeling you will.
I'll probably watch it. There are already a couple things on Apple TV that I want to watch, but I might wait until a couple other things come to Apple TV, because that's the thing, it's coming to Apple TV Plus. So, which I had a subscription, but it was through Sony actually. With the PS5, they gave you 6 months free on
that's
Apple
kind of
TV.
interesting.
So that was cool, but that ran out. So like, if Severance season 2 comes out, maybe I'll check out the Tetris movie. Um, but I think it's actually a good idea because I thought the same thing when I think we talked about it too, and they're like, they're making a Tetris movie, and I was like, that sounds stupid as fuck. What's that gonna be? But
Yeah.
then it's like, oh wait, this is actually about how Tetris made it to America, and when I
Yeah.
thought about it, I'm like, that is actually an interesting story
It
about
is
how Tetris was made in the middle of Soviet Russia, and they had to like kind of fight to get Tetris
during
over here.
the Cold War. Yeah.
Yeah,
So like it is an interesting timepiece for sure, but there's so many docu-series out
yeah.
on just everything that I'm really sick of the docu-series bullshit.
Well, that's something I appreciate about this is it's not a series. It's just a fucking movie.
It's just a movie,
I
right?
appreciate
Well,
that.
could you really make it I guess you could
You
make it a
could,
series.
man. They made a fucking series out of the Theranos thing when it's like, how do you make that a whole ass show? Sounds like an interesting movie, but a whole
Right.
ass
Yeah.
show? Like that's
Yeah, 100%. It's in the same vein as the Theranos
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Which is that's it. That is an interesting story. And I had been following that for a long time before the show, but like and I didn't watch the show because I'm like, why? Why is this a full ass show? If it was a movie,
Right.
I might have checked it out.
Yeah.
Um yeah.
What I'm saying is they should have stuck with the Tetraminos and
Yeah.
an emoji movie type.
Yeah. Anything to get more people playing Tetris. That's all I care about.
That's what it's about, baby.
That's it, baby. Hey, Firaxis, you remember those guys? You remember old
Yeah,
Firaxis?
I do remember Phyrexius.
Firaxis, you know those
Those
boys.
guys that did the XCOM games.
They
XCOM Give It To You.
they did XCOM Give It to You. They did the Marvel Midnight Suns. You know what else they did?
Uh-huh.
They did the Civ games, and
Did they really?
they
I didn't know
did.
that.
And they just recently said, "Hey, Civ 7, we're doing it." So that's cool. Apparently, though, like the two leads that have been leading since the XCOM games,
Uh-huh.
just left. So
Oh,
I feel like
I thought
Firaxis is
I
in a
felt
weird
like they
space.
left a while ago.
I think they left like last year.
Oh, okay.
So a bit of a weird time to be Firaxis, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't realize they made Civ's games. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I think that's them.
so
I thought it was
the
just
Civ.
Sid Meier himself.
Yeah, Sid Meier sat down and made an entire game
He did it. Yes.
multiple times and re-released the same game over and over again. It seems.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um.
and people bought it. Can we talk about Civ for a second?
Yeah.
Who keeps buying these? Who keeps buying these games? Because every time that I've noticed between Civ 4 is when I've started like, oh, this is a game, and I've played this game. Civ 4, Civ 5, Civ 6, right? They've all come out, and every single one of them I feel is the same exact game with less features when they come out.
I feel like Civ 5 is far more flushed out than Civ 4.
I'm only on the surface, right? I've played Civ 4, Civ 5. I don't think I've played Civ 6 because I'm like, what's the fucking point? Civ 4, every expansion for it, or from like one of those super, right? And people are like, oh, I'll play it. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Civ 5 comes out, and people are like, don't play it until all the DLCs come out because it's like not, you're gonna miss out on a whole bunch of shit. And it's like, okay, well then I'll wait. I played Civ 5. Civ 6 comes out, and all I hear is, don't buy it now, buy it later. And it's like, that's the same fucking game. Stop releasing the same game without all the content. I just don't understand why people keep buying these games. Is that weird? Am I overstepping?
I mean, I don't think you're overstepping as far as like just the DLC stuff. Like that is annoying as fuck. But I mean, it makes sense that people keep buying them. People like those Civ games.
Right. But just play Civ 6 until all the DLC comes out, you know?
Right.
For the seventh one. I feel like that's the way this goes, and I don't understand how Civ 6 or the Civilization guys have the money to make DLC when it seems like all of their fan base is on the same page of, wait for more content to come out.
Yeah, I mean it's not all their fan base, obviously.
Well,
Uh,
it's a lot.
I
I guess it's not all their fan base.
My
Yeah.
biggest thing that I heard was Civ 6, which I have Civ 6, but I never really got a chance to play it because no one ever wants to fucking play it. But like
Right.
my thing with Civ 6 was I heard it was just like different. Like the gameplay was different and people almost preferred Civ 5 to Civ 6. And I don't know what
Okay.
it was, but apparently like the gameplay was just kind of weird. But now people seem to be coming around on it. But I think the time between Civ 5 and Civ 6 was like pretty substantial.
Right.
I think it was like a good like I don't even know. Here, let me look this up. Civ 5 release date 2010 and then Civ 6 was 2016, so that was 6 years. I guess that is like about right now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I just feel like Civ 6 just came out, but it didn't.
Yeah, well, because people are like, hey, waiting for all the DLC,
Yeah, I guess.
and then you pick it up later, and it's the real release date is 4 years after it's come out. So I don't know. That's what I'm seeing through my eyes in my personal experience with these games.
I think it'd be cool, and this might be sacrilegious to say as a Civ fan, because I love Civ 5. Like, I think it's a great game. I feel like the Civ games are a little obtuse sometimes in like what you're doing and like what certain things do to affect
Right.
your stuff. So I feel like it'd be cool if Civ 7 kind of like streamlined some of that stuff and made it a little bit easier to understand. I think a lot of the Civ fans would be pissed about it.
Oh yeah.
But those fans can, like you were just saying, can just go play Civ 5.
Yeah, I mean they're going to, right?
Yeah. Well, I think Civ 5 will forever live in infamy as like the best Civ game. So, but we'll see. Maybe Civ 7 comes out and everyone's like, "Damn, this is the one." Those look like
Maybe.
actual little men down there.
Yeah. Yeah, my army of 700 people represented by two little guys on a hexagon is this looks great. This looks like a real battle going on down there between two little guys.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, Civ 7. I always like Civ. Civ is cool. And when I say when they say they're like working on it, I bet this game won't come out for like 2 more years. But we'll see. Especially because like Midnight Suns just came out in like December.
Just came out.
So
Yep.
Excuse me. Original Metroid Prime devs call the remaster credit snub shameful. And what I mean by this, so the original Metroid Prime creators,
yes,
artists, directors, all that stuff,
the
developers, all of that stuff.
Yes.
The only thing they get in the credits of the remaster is based on the original concept art of the original game. Like that's all it says. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember what it says exactly, but that's, and then it goes into like the people who remastered the game in the credits. So it doesn't have those people that actually made the original game in the credits. And some of the devs are like mad about it. They're like, "What the hell? We made this game. Give us some love."
Yeah. If they did it differently instead of and you don't know exactly what it says, but based on the art and whatever of this game, I feel like that's almost good enough. If they worded it a little differently, maybe like, based solely and entirely on, Metroid Prime for the GameCube, I feel like that would be good enough. Because who the fuck is sitting through the credits?
I mean, people just, it's nice to like give them a shout out at least.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a good enough shout out. Like, okay, you want to know who works on these games? Go to the Wikipedia. Go online and just type up, Metroid Prime GameCube cast or whatever,
I think there are 2 easy fixes.
Okay.
To this. One is you run your remaster credits and then at the end of those credits you just add the other credits into the credits.
Right, but then that's like a 45 minute
okay,
credit.
No, people skip it anyway. Like they're long as fuck anyway.
Yeah.
Or here's the second solution: if you do think that's like makes the credits too long, you just put a little thing in the menu, like, "Hey, original credits."
Yeah.
And then you click it.
Yeah, I could see that.
And a lot of games even have that now, where it's like, "Hey, you want to watch the credits? It's in the menu. You just click it." You know, which I kind of
Yeah.
appreciate that anyway. So, is this pre-recorded? Haha, I just proved you wrong. It's not. How about that? We're just so in sync that you think it's pre-recorded. No, it's not. But yeah, just do one of those two things. That's all you
Yeah,
gotta
I
do.
mean, it's easy enough, but it's also easy enough to just go online and look up the credits.
I mean, yeah, but I think it's worth putting people in there to like shout them out. Like if you're gonna have credits, you should credit everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like
I,
credits so I can see my dad's name. He worked on Ant-Man. Oh.
oh.
Well, how about that? Is your dad Paul Rudd? Can you tell him I'd love to have him on the podcast? So your dad actually is Michael Douglas and other Marvel movies. Well, that's cool, man.
See, that's cool, but for everybody, I don't know, man. Credits if your dad didn't work on the movie, right? You wouldn't sit through the credits. It's and when your dad works on a movie, you know he worked on the movie, right?
Yeah.
If
No,
if your dad works on a game, he's like, "Hey, yeah, I've been working on this game for 8 years," and it's like, "Cool, Dad."
but it's also nice.
And the only like good job is like a fucking name tag that goes on a black screen that everybody skips anyway.
But a lot of times this stuff doesn't end up on a Wikipedia page because they look at the credits to make the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, but also there is a Wikipedia page for the original game, I'm sure,
Sure.
which has the credits of the original game because there were credits. I'm not saying don't do credits. I'm just saying you can't really get pissed if
I'd be
you've
pissed. I'd be pissed.
you've already been credited for the game that you made in the early 2000s, and now there's another game made by other people based on the game that you've made, and now you're going to be pissed because your name wasn't in a black screen with white text. Like, it's just so far-fetched to me. Like, I feel like you can't be pissed about that because you've already got your dude. You've gotten your attaboy, right? You've gotten it. I just don't see.
Movies about bugs usually suck, we get in the chat. I mean, we'll be talking about Ant-Man in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Don't you worry. But yeah, you're right. uh, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but also like if you're taking a game, right? Like let's take the Last of Us Part 1 for example.
Right. Uh-huh.
Like if you didn't credit Neil Druckmann, that would be fucking insane. Cuz like they did cuz he still works there. But like if they made the remake and Neil Druckmann wasn't there and they didn't credit him in the credits of the remake, that would be fucking insane because that game wouldn't exist without that foundation, you know?
Yeah.
The same goes for the people who made Metroid.
Right, but it's only that way because Neil Druckmann is that big of a
Buddy on the right resembles
impact.
young Wolverine. It's great. Wow, the chat is really gassing you up right now, Nick.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry.
It's only Neil Druckmann's name is only that big because he had that much of a part about it. Like he was that much into the creation of it, right?
Well,
and I feel like
go ahead.
You can say Neil a game remastered based on a game made by Neil Druckmann or whatever
and co.
and Neil Druckmann and co. And that's understandable.
I don't know,
right?
man,
because,
but when levels are like 1-to-1 remakes, you're still using in the remake the idea that person set forward in the like it's if it's a 1-to-1 thing, it's like that level design should still be credited to the person who made that original level design.
They did. It sure is. It's already there. Just because that they didn't have to remake the level for this game, and they just had to, artsy fartsy it up and make it 4K or whatever, doesn't mean that, like, that for taking it from what the original one is, and putting art, directors on it to upscale it or whatever. I understand that that's not how The Last of Us was, but you take a port of it, you only should be able to include the people who did it on that project. It's based by a
We're losing Nick.
project.
We're losing him.
Son of a bitch.
We're losing him.
It's based project to project basis. And if your project is just remake this with the same bullshit, I feel like that should be good enough.
What do you mean that should be good enough?
You just credit the guys that work on the project. You don't credit the original,
I don't know why you wouldn't, though. I don't know why you wouldn't, because
why would you?
Because they still created the thing.
And they have the credits for the original thing.
But
that's my whole argument. They've already been credited.
Okay, but here's my argument. The thing that you're currently making, okay, let's say we make a
building.
We're making a building, okay?
Okay, yeah.
And and there's credits at the end of this building, okay?
Okay, yeah.
And I laid the foundation, okay? I laid the foundation of this building,
right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I left for 10 years. You come in 10 years later and build atop that foundation, I would hope I'd still get credit for that foundation.
No, dude, you've gotten credit for the foundation already.
But I didn't.
You've gotten your credit. What is your...
Why?
So the thing is, we'll continue this building thing, right? So you get a contractor, right, that pours concrete foundation for a building. They're there. They put up their banner and signs that says, like, construction co. number 2 and concrete company, right? They put the banners up. They got their credit. They pour it all in there. Next guy comes in, puts their own banners up, goes, this is us, this is art now, and they put their banners up. This is construction company wall manufacturer, man. And they put their walls up and they put their little whatever on it, right? Good, fine. By the time the building's ended, there's been so many credits, so many projects that have gone through different hands over and over again, that by the end of it, the people who laid the concrete have already gotten their due diligence and shouldn't need a plaque on the side of the building that says made concrete made by these people. Like, and then
it's funny because sometimes on like historic buildings, there are plaques of the people who made the fucking building.
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
So like, why would you not credit the people who made the fucking game? Like, they made the game. Why wouldn't you? That's crazy.
Because they've already got the credit.
Even though the building has had, fixes and maybe has been even like remodeled interiorly, you're still gonna acknowledge Frank Lloyd Wright for making that building.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay. Now we're at the Neil Druckmann thing again, because Neil Druckmann's a big name. Frank Lloyd Wright is a big name. Can you name anybody else that worked under Frank Lloyd Wright in his architectural firm? No, you cannot, because nobody else's name is on that fucking building. Okay. This is Frank Lloyd Wright's project. He directed.
I just don't think it's that hard to credit people for their work.
No, but I also don't see a reason for that.
And I appreciate it, because I mean, it's just like another reference to be like, hey, look at what they've done with something I made.
So if you take The Last of Us, right? Yeah. The Last of Us 1. Uh-huh. It's already had 4 remakes or 3 remakes or whatever, right?
Right.
So you're gonna credit every single fucking person?
Well, I mean,
Credits are gonna
it
be
was
like
kind of a point of contention recently with the show where they were acknowledging that the story is based off of Neil Druckmann's story, even though Bruce Straley was co-director on that team, and they didn't credit him. And I think that's wrong. They should have credited him. He was co-creator of The Last of Us.
I don't know. I don't know that. Speak Australia.
You are cutting out like a motherfucker right now.
Fantastic.
I just don't understand why it's so hard to credit people and why it's wrong to credit people and why you would even fight against that. It's kind of just a wild take. But
my take's the wild take.
Yeah, because it's wild. Why
I'm not fighting
when it's something so simple to credit someone for something? Why the fuck would you not?
Because it's a waste of time.
It's not. It takes 2 seconds to throw them in the credits.
I don't think it takes 2 seconds. Somebody's got to type all that shit up and make it fit in the
okay. A day's work of typing shit up. Oh man.
Yeah. Well, you know, those people get paid like $60,000. That's $60,000.
Trust me, it's video games. They don't. There's no unions in video games.
I guarantee you, dude, working at Nintendo on the Metroid Prime thing made enough money.
Not the person who wrote out the credits.
I bet they make more money than
we've talked about stories on this show about how Nintendo employees are mistreated in Seattle.
Mistreated is one thing. Getting paid for a livable is another.
Part of mistreatment is getting paid shitty.
Okay.
That's like the main mistreatment.
Well, I don't think that's to do with it. I think mistreatment is more about, my boss is mean to me and doesn't allow me to go on my cruises every 6 days. You know?
I mean, if that's how you feel you get mistreated, dog, you got a good job.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I have a better job than me. That's all. I fucking type out credits.
I don't know, man. I've heard a lot of horror stories.
$60,000.
I've heard a lot of horror stories about being like a QA tester and stuff.
Oh, those people are shitty though. You gotta be mistreated, right?
Jesus Christ, dude, you're on a fucking roll today, huh?
I'm just fucking.
Oh man, you need to call your internet provider. What the fuck, man? It's crazy.
Is it going? It's going down again.
It's been kind of in and out this entire time.
Great.
You are literally you're like 6 pixels of a man.
Fantastic, dude. I love that shit.
Car manufacturers don't credit Joseph Bell for the turn signals. Okay, I mean you just did so.
Oh, so that's good enough then, Jake. Somebody just word of mouth as a credit is good enough in your book just based on that.
I mean, when it's a work of art that has credits, put the people who made the thing
fucking turn signals.
Yes, turn signals have credits. Turn signals are a fucking they're not a piece of art. They are an item that you purchase, you know?
Like a video game or a piece of art.
But like a piece of art has credits. A turn signal, you can't have credits on the side of a turn signal.
No, you can't. Not physically on it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well,
give credit where credit's due.
That's what I'm saying. What the fuck?
No. See, no. It's already been done. The credits have already been done, is my whole point. You've already gotten your attaboys. You've already gotten your stage time. Fucking move on, make something else, or get back into the remake of your game to get back onto the credits.
I feel like people should be credited for the things that they make.
I agree.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. And
great.
Metroid is made. It's a 1-to-1 remake. So much so that I'm pretty sure they used a lot of the same coding and shit. Like, so why would you not credit the people who made that coding?
Because they've already been credited. You're missing the point. They've already been credited.
But they haven't been credited for this product that they used their material for.
See, I think that's wrong. I don't think you need that.
If I were to buy the rights of Stephanie Meyer's Twilight books. And I took her words and printed them onto a new book. I would still put written by Stephanie Meyers.
You would not.
On that book.
You could, but now you do not have to. She has books out there already that
and
say Stephanie Meyers
like, why
to Twilight.
Why the fuck did you not put Stephanie Meyers on the book?
Who the fuck cares? She's already gotten the credits. I just redid it. Okay. I put it on better paper, goddammit.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about the news. I'm with you though. Like credits are like whatever. Like who cares? It's not that big a deal.
Oh, are you? Are you with me? Okay, it's good to know.
Well, I don't agree with your assessment, but I do agree that it's not like that. It's not the end of the world, you know. Right. Because, like you said, most things don't have credits. But my thing is, like, if you have credits, why would you not credit the people? I don't know. Anyway, Tencent. Here's our only piece of news here. And I find this an interesting piece of news. Let me add some. Dude, you look crispy clear now. It's crazy.
That's how it goes, my guy. That's just how it goes. I don't know. They fucking turned it off long enough for me not to complain, not to have a case. Because the last time that I've noticed it went off was February 8th, where an extended period of time where it like shut off and I wasn't able to do something and I got real mad about it. At 3 p.m. Today, February 20th at 4 p.m. And, you know, just long enough for me to not say anything and long enough time frame so that I can't call and be like, hey, every single day I'm out internet, you know, it's like, hey, every week or so, maybe sometimes the internet goes out for like 2 seconds, a minute and a half.
I mean, you're still kind of lagging out here.
But still, like tomorrow it'll be fine. I won't have a hiccup. Like it's shitty. I wish there was any sort of other internet provider around my house because I would pay for them instead of Cox or Comcast, whatever you have. It's Cox and Comcast are the same thing. I wish we had like T-Mobile or Verizon or whatever. I would pay for that 5G shit because it's probably way more better.
Way more better.
Then yeah.
Okay, so this piece of news here. We're back on it. This piece of news, I think, is an interesting piece of news right before the release of the PSVR 2, which comes out this week, which we have been talking about how there hasn't been like any marketing for PSVR 2. Like there hasn't been a state of play. No one's really talking about it. The fact that it comes out this week is shocking to me. And I think the only reason I know that is because we do this show. If we didn't do this show, I don't think I'd even fucking know. So
yeah, I don't even know, and we do this show.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, every week we're like, the PSVR 2 is coming right around the corner. I'm like, I don't know when. It's right around the corner. Okay.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Here's this piece of news here. This comes from Oysen Kunke from GameSpot. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. Whatever. Tencent has reportedly canceled VR headset after seeing trouble in the market.
Oh, no shit.
Tencent was apparently working on its own VR hardware, but plans have reportedly been ditched after growing disinterest in the metaverse space. According to a report from Reuters, Tencent is abandoning all plans it had for VR hardware, in part to cut costs due to a global economic difficulties. The report notes that the tech giant and games publisher intended to develop both VR software and hardware as part of an extended reality or XR unit it opened last year. The XR unit hired nearly 300 people, but these employees have apparently been advised to start looking for other work. A source Reuters spoke to claimed that the XR project wasn't expected to be profitable until at least 2027, based on an internal forecast. Quote, under the company's new strategy as a whole, it no longer quite fit in. Another source noted there was also a lack of promising games and non-gaming applications. Tencent's interest in VR came from general rising interest in metaverses and virtual worlds, leading it to push more into hardware. despite being more of a software space with games and social media apps. One source told Reuters that Tencent had looked into VR around 7 years ago, but because of advances in VR hardware, the company started to regain interest in 2021. The MetaQuest headset being so successful was also a factor in the interest. The article, goes on to, speculate about things and talk about is Tencent in trouble or whatever. I don't think Tencent's in trouble at all. I think what's in trouble is VR in general. And the companies that are backing VR pretty heavy right now, like Facebook in particular, or whatever they're called now, Meta, they might want to reconsider that. I think, because I just don't think there's I don't think there's a huge market for VR. I think there was for a time, because it was this new tech, but I think it was a gimmicky tech that was cool for a moment. I'm sure there will be a phase in 10 years where people will be like, oh yeah, let's do VR again. And then people will do VR and they'll be over it again. And that cycle will probably continue. But to go fully into VR like Meta is kind of a bad idea. And I think Tencent is onto that. And I think the writing on the wall for PSVR 2, which is getting good reviews, might I add, but they're not pushing it. I think they know that their product is good. Even knowing it's good, they're there's just not a market for it. And I think when they started developing the PSVR 2, they thought there was more of a market than there is now. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. Thoughts? You have any thoughts?
I think you're absolutely correct on pretty much everything.
Thank you, especially credits.
And
I'm just playing. Sorry.
With the PlayStation VR 2, I feel like at the point of them making it and releasing it, it was too late for them to back out. It was at that point where they're like, well, we're too far in now to just completely cut it. So might as well just finish this project out and put it out there, and whoever buys it, buys it. Because you're absolutely right with Sony, where I have not seen anything about it at all. Like you said at the beginning, at the top of that, is I didn't realize it was coming out. If it wasn't for the show, wouldn't have even known that it was coming out, because they haven't pushed it. And I think there's a reason, and that reason is, oh yeah, they know that the thing is dead. And I feel like PSVR is in the same vein as 3D home TVs, or even
good example,
3D theater TVs. Some movies for sure are an experience in 3D, and that's exactly the same thing as VR. You're only getting maybe 5% of the games are an experience also in VR that they are, with a controller in your hand. And it's so interesting that a bunch of companies are still holding on. Meta is trying to do what Sony did and the PlayStation 3 with their metaverse or whatever, where
they looked at VR chat and were like, that's it.
That's the thing. Yeah, I think this is the end of it. I feel like this, and what's the one, the Oculus, I think, that's supposed to take over for the Facebook one. The Facebook one that has, it's all in this headset.
The Oculus Quest.
There's the Oculus Quest. Yeah.
MetaQuest.
Yeah, I think that'll be the last one that we see that actually tries, if that makes sense. That one will come out and it'll be okay, well, this is the last hurrah for VR, and if this doesn't work, we're going to be doing something else.
Yeah, I think I think the Vive has a chance of continuing, and I think the reason the Vive has a chance of continuing on the Quest and the PlayStation VR is because the PlayStation VR and the MetaQuest are attempting to make these like consumer products that like everyone should buy or whatever. And the Vive is like, no, this is like a really cool, expensive piece of tech.
Right.
So like they're like, we're already building this for a niche audience,
Mm-hmm.
and we're financing it to be a niche product.
Right.
Where the Meta Quest and the PSVR 2 is like, we need a lot of people to buy this for it to be profitable.
Right.
And that's where I think things are going to implode. Like in theory, I like that the VR2 and the Meta Quest are like, you know, gonna be cheaper products, and like I'm telling you now, give it a year, PSVR 2 is gonna be cheap as fuck. But like,
Oh yeah.
I think you just need a lot of consumers to maintain that kind of market. And I just don't think there's that level of interest for it. I think there's like a small interest for it, which is why I think like the Vive
100%.
can work.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I guess what I'm saying is like I wouldn't expect a PSVR 3 to happen. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
No, what's really funny is we go back to like the PlayStation Portable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get the PlayStation Portable, and that's sold out like really well. The PSP original sold really well.
Yeah, we were talking last week. It was like the number 4th best selling console or something.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. But then you go into the PlayStation Vita, right? When that came out, it is very.
We lost you. We lost him. We lost.
Completely? Am I completely gone?
You're kind of frozen. I hear I hear your voice a little. Oh god.
Okay. Well,
Jesus.
anyway,
Jesus.
point doesn't matter anyway.
Oh my god. You look like you look terrifying, like a horror movie. There you go. You're back now.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Okay. So apparently the PlayStation Vita sold better than the PlayStation VR. And they still decided to go to make a PlayStation VR 2 for some reason instead of a PlayStation Vita 2. You know, and that's kind of crazy to me. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's
a choice.
it is a choice, you know, but
I think their thought process was like, oh yeah, this was the like test one, and the next one's gonna be like the one that hits, bro. Mm. And it doesn't seem to be the one that hits.
No, yeah, well, because it's gone. You know, the market's just not there. People don't want VR. People want the Switch, obviously, because we just reported that the Switch is one of the highest selling consoles.
The only way I could see a VR selling well is if they can get the glasses, the goggles, to look like this, just regular ass glasses, and that's never fucking happening, because it's just, you need fucking TV screens in there, and people don't want to wear it. That's it. That's it. People just don't want to wear that shit.
Yeah.
The idea is cool. It's just like people don't want to wear that shit, and they don't want to spend money for a thing that they don't want to wear.
And like, you can't really share it either, right? Because you've got like all gross. This nasty face shit going on, and people are like, that's kind of weird.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
It's just hard. It's hard to.
Yeah, it's a hard sell for sure. Nick, what you been playing?
Yes. Oh man, Hogwarts Legacy. That's what I've been playing, pretty much nonstop. I've put 24 hours into it, and I feel like I haven't really scratched the surface a whole lot.
Jesus.
Like maybe a third of the way through it. But I'm still having a great time with this game. Like it is actually still really fun. And it sucks with all the connotations that are going off, but I feel like a lot of that has died out real quick. You know, all those people that game you're not. I feel like people have...
You're cutting out again. Fuck. There he is.
Am I back?
Oh my god. See,
No.
it's not just like a 2 minute thing. This happens all the time, and it's like a long fuck up. Like,
Oh, I know. It's long enough for this to fucking fail, right? But it comes back. Like if I do a ping test, it'll come back as 0% packet loss because it's so minimal. The packet loss is so minimal that it doesn't show up on a packet loss test. So it's like nothing's happening. But it's long enough for it to fuck this whole thing up.
yeah, it's weird, man. I don't even know how they would fix it either. Like
I don't either.
if it's like a network thing.
It's not. It's like a some sort of cable all the way through. Like I'm not sure.
I don't know what you said, but I'll take your word for it.
You got it.
Yeah, Hogwarts though. It looks like a cool game. That is how the conversation goes. Is you know, a couple weeks people be talking about it. I don't hear conversations about it being good or bad at this point. You know, it's just kind of the conversation's dead. So
Completely. You know, like it's okay to play the game now. You know, I feel like that's kind of where we're at. If you buy the game now, if you bought the one,
I
I don't
can't
know.
fucking understand you, dude. Oh my god.
Just end it. Just end it, my guy.
So if I translate Shakespeare's Hamlet to modern English, do I need to credit him? Apparently not. Apparently not. Jesus. He's still fucked. Here he goes. Damn it, I have a game that I want to talk about though. I've been playing.
Well, fucking talk about the game. I'm talking now. You know at this
point. I played and beat Blanc. Which was that black and white game with the little fox and the little wolf. And I liked it. It's very short. It's like, it's like a 30-minute game. It was like only $15 too.
Wow.
So. Or 30-minute game? I meant 2 hours. I don't know why I said 30 minutes.
Oh, 30 minutes. Still 2 hours.
Fuck, I said that. But it was like $15, so it's like whatever.
I guess it's the same as like a movie ticket.
Yeah. A little bit more, but like, but it's a game, so, Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. It really felt like you're playing a Pixar game or like a Pixar movie, and I like that. And the art style never got old. Like it was just really good looking game, and you come across some like other animal friends, and some of the puzzles were pretty interesting. And I like that. I think the traversal was fucking terrible though. It was just so sticky, just like a very, very sticky game. Where you're like jumping to things that you don't want to jump to, and it's very annoying. Definitely a game designed to be a multiplayer game as well. Because one's supposed to be the fox, the other's supposed to be the wolf. If you play it as one person, here I'll just use this controller as an example. You control the fawn with this stick, and then the wolf with this stick. And then they do different interactions with the triggers up on the top.
Okay.
So like my brain would just start hurting sometimes, like trying to control these two characters at the same time.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely made for like a couple or something to play, or like someone to play with their kid or whatever. So I wonder if the experience would have been better, but I liked it. I thought it was good. It was not amazing, but the vision behind it was super cool, and I appreciate that they went a different direction and tried something different that you don't really see in video games. It wasn't like a shooty thing. It was like, hey, let's do a cute little puzzly thing, and the art style was super interesting and neat. So not a bad game, not an amazing game, just like it was a pretty nice little experience that I played, and now that I've beaten it, I probably won't think about it much besides like how cool the art style is, you know. So
Oh, there you go.
yeah, it's worth playing though
Nice.
for $15. Like it was probably a perfect timing for it to come out like on Halloween. Jesus, uh, what
Valentine's Day.
that's the one. That's the
That's the
love
one.
holiday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably a good call. It's a good Valentine's Day game for sure. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. Recent reviews via OpenCritic. We got Atomic Heart, which got a 74 from 70 critic reviews. That's pretty decent. I've been hearing good things about it, so that actually seems lower than I was expecting it to be.
I heard it's not doing it, like just I haven't looked into it, but just what I got from
Hey
you
Nick,
can
can you do me
yeah,
a solid?
yeah.
Why don't you turn your camera off? That might help.
I don't think so.
I mean, you won't be
But no,
sending video signal, right? Like it
right.
should
I don't
help a
think it
little.
has anything to do with that though.
I mean, I can hear you now, so
You can hear me.
I couldn't
From
before.
what
I
I
can
get,
hear you now.
from what I get from Atomic Heart, it's like it's fine. It's like that Wolfenstein game. It's like, yeah, it's fine.
Hmm.
If you like these kind of games.
Interesting. Yeah, I've been hearing good things online just from like the certain content creators in the Twitter sphere, but apparently critics are like, yeah, it's exactly what you're saying. Yeah, it's fine. It's kind of a 74.
Yeah,
But Like a
yeah.
Dragon Ishin is getting an 81 from 69 critic reviews. Um, I will say that's probably a little skewed just because people love the Yakuza games, right? Like it's got to be.
I don't know, man. I feel like OpenCritic is one of the best places to
Hmm.
actually get like true reviews that aren't that like I like you go to Metacritic or something and it's got the fans and then they're always, you know,
Yeah, it's always skewed one way or the
black.
other.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not true, but as far as the sample size with OpenCritic, it seems to be fairly be what you expect it to be.
Yeah. So that's pretty good for Like a Dragon. I've never played a Yakuza game. I think about it all the time and then I don't do it.
Yeah, there's just too much.
It's too
I feel
much.
like
They're
I've
all
missed the
long.
boat.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't have the time.
Maybe one day if like
Maybe.
I get laid off or something and I need something to
Yeah,
do.
there you go. There you go. Yeah, you just need a whole bunch of time to sink into something.
Yeah, true. Wild Hearts, which I've been also hearing good things about, got an 80 from 69 critic reviews.
Yeah. Yeah, this game looks interesting. I
Yeah.
hear it looks like poo poo doo doo. But the gameplay is actually really good. Um, like visuals and everything here is not the best.
Yeah, it's like that Monster Hunter type game, right?
Yeah, it is a Monster Hunter game. Like that's the best
Yeah.
um comparison.
Yeah, what happened to that Pokemon game that wasn't Pokemon?
It's still coming out.
Hmm.
Pal World, I think it's called. The
No,
one where you can like
no, there was like that other one where it was
that
literally
one
Pokemon, but
that one actually came out. Like it got a full release, but I haven't heard a
yeah, I
whole
just
bunch of
don't
people talk.
yeah, I just don't hear people talk about it anymore. Like I feel like a lot of people were talking about it. What was it called? Do you remember?
Uh,
Non-Pokemon
no, I don't remember.
Pokemon game. 11 best Pokemon games that aren't Pokemon.
There you go. That'll have it.
Please. Digimon, Persona. Come on now.
No,
Ni no
no,
Kuni. Come on now.
no.
Temtem. That was it.
That's it.
That's the
That's the
one.
one.
That's it.
Yeah. It got a full release, and yeah, I haven't heard anything since then.
I wanted to try it and I just never got around to it. But
It's it's grindy as fuck, which is why I stopped playing it.
yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Like
Uh,
it is very grindy.
yeah. Theater Rhythm, Final Bar Line got an 87 from 41 critic reviews. That's pretty high, actually.
People seem to like it.
People like it. Wanted Dead got a 60 from 64 critic reviews. That's pretty low. When I first saw it, it was at like a 48 last week when it first showed up on Open Critic. So it's actually gone up, but
somebody has found something to enjoy about it.
Yeah, I've been hearing
since the initial impressions.
I've been hearing real bad things about that game.
I still don't know what it is. I haven't even looked into
it. It's like what is it? Hybrid slasher shooter. Yeah, it's from the makers of Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And
that does not bode well.
Yeah.
Dead or Alive.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Dead or Alive. Right. Give me the volleyball Dead or Alive.
There you go.
Give it to me.
Bring it over here.
Okay, next week in games. This is gonna take me a while because there's all these fucking VR games coming out.
Oh, don't even mention them.
We've
Just say a bunch of VR games.
We've got Arca R coming to everything on February 21st. Atomic Hearts comes out on everything except for the Switch on February 21st. Like a Dragon Ishin comes out on everything except for the Switch on February 21st. I'm gonna skip a lot of these VR games, but just know there's a lot of VR games. We got Gran Turismo up in this bitch. We got Job Simulator. We got Horizon Call of the Mountain. All of these things. It's all there. Blood Bowl 3 comes to everything, including the Switch, on February 23rd. Love to see it.
It's going to be bad.
I'm going to buy that game for $5 in 3 years. I'm going to love it. Company of Heroes 3 comes to PC February 23rd. Grim Guardians Demon Purge comes to everything February 23rd. Clive and Wrench comes to PlayStation 5, 4, Switch, and PC on February 24th. Kirby's Return to Dreamland comes to PS5, comes to Switch on February 24th. And then Octopath Traveler 2 comes to PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC September 24th. That's wild. This is the first one of these games to come to the PlayStation. You love to see it.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
You love to see it.
Check out our other shows. We're going to be doing an Ant-Man show, or we're going to attempt to do one with Nick's internet here. Although now that you've turned your camera off, you sound wonderful. So,
good. Maybe Discord just fucking.
Yeah, maybe. Check us out on Twitter at LonerCast1. At EmergencyPizza_ is my Twitter, and Nick is at Fatal_Microwave. Twitter can eat my ass though, dude. I'm really sick of it. Did you see like Elon got rid of 2-factor authentication?
I did.
For non-players. That's fucking insane, dude. I can't believe that.
This is capitalism, my guy.
Yeah.
This is what
insane.
Republicans want. They want people to fucking charge them for bullshit that they should be getting for free.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Fuck Twitter. I just don't know what the alternative is. Like, what's the alternative to Twitter? I don't know. There has to be something out there. People have to move. Anyway, twitch.tv/LonerCast. That's where we are. Check us out. And YouTube and podcast services. Everywhere. Last Week in Games. LonerCast.
Everywhere.
We're fantastic. Good stuff. Thank you. Bye-bye.